Guys, general sale tickets for the XXX-Mas Special at Wembley are now live. Go and buy them or your stinks. Welcome back to another episode of Saving Grace. Today, we have got OG royalty in the house. It's Louise Pentland.
Oh, it's me. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You looking round?
Yeah. Oh, is it me? Is it me?
Welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me on the pod. This is lovely. I'd like to live in this.
We can arrange that if you need. Just pay a little bit of rent and...
No, I don't want to pay to live here.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you can just live here.
It's not a money-making opportunity for you guys.
You know, I always like to see the money-making opportunity.
No, I like that in a woman.
Thank you. 5 minutes in, come on. Right, I want to go back to, because this was... When was the first time I met you? It had to have been at an awards, and I feel like it was Pride of Britain last year. It was Pride of Britain,
yes. And I had that bag that was like a little pebble.
Yes, and I went, what's in your bag?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and you would... I think you had a cold at the time. Was it you that had the cold and you were like, Lemsip? No.
No, but I do always have everything in my bag. Right. Everything. Yeah.
Okay. Like, that's very mum of you, though.
Yeah, like a fan, a spare pair of pants, polos, like everything you could need.
Yeah, I was like, thank you. Thank you very much. That's the first time I met you. And I was like...
Special time.
That's Louise fucking Pentland.
I was like, where's Chico Barry?
I got in your vlog as well and everything. I was absolute gassed.
I was having a good time too. That was a very nice night, yeah.
Did you get drunk at the Pride of Britain?
So I don't ever drink at events, but at that one, yes, I did.
You have
because I was staying over that night, so I had no responsibilities. Didn't have to get myself home in any which way because I was staying at the hotel.
Incredible.
So I was like, let's let loose, baby.
Yeah.
I had at least 3 glasses of wine.
At least.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know, vaguely, really going for it that night.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say a story because I was like, I don't remember.
No, I was seeing you with your legs around your head. It was a nightmare. No, I just remember, and I was next to Nicola. One-off Girls Allowed.
I was going to say the One-off Girls Allowed. Yeah. Or do you mean the one from Derry Girls?
No, the One-off Girls Allowed.
The other one, yeah?
Yeah.
Her?
I was sat next to her. I don't think she was best pleased with me having a nice drink. But
I was sat with Lydia Millen and she was like very demure.
Of course, she is the definition of demure, isn't she?
She's lovely. And can I say this story on here?
Why not? You can cut it if not.
Do you know who mugged me off at the Pride of Britain Awards last year?
I'm ready.
Dean Gaffney. I'll tell you the story. Since
not
you
gaffers.
Asked. Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw him at the after party. I know this is not what's on your board to discuss.
I don't like this.
Here we go. Stop me if I'm not allowed to tell this story, but I saw him and I was like, this is a bit exciting. I remember Dean. I've actually got a story about Dean Gaffney because I'm from Northampton.
Right.
And when I was in sixth form, I had a Saturday job at Snappy Snaps Photo Processing. And one day he brought in his camera to have his photos processed. Right. So I was going to go up to him and be like, Dean, oh my God, amazing story. We've actually met before. Do you remember 20 years ago, Snappy Snaps Photo Processing? I was the girl behind the till.
Love that.
Did your holiday photos? That's all I wanted. I wanted him to go,
yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. I really remember that. Brilliant. That's all I was looking for in that interaction. So I said my bit. Do you remember? No. I've got Lydia Millen next to me. And if you don't know, Lydia Millen is beautiful. She's stunning. Yeah. She'd be stunning in like gym jams, but she was wearing this like, ball gown. She had beautiful hair. She looked gorgeous. Oh, she's standing next to me. And he looks at me and goes, I don't remember that, but did you work at Snappy Snaps? And I was like, no, that's just Lydia. No, she didn't work there. I worked there. Probably
this is about me.
About 2001. I didn't know her then. He was like, because I'd remember you if you were there. I was like, no.
Muggy.
I was like, no, I only met her a couple of, she's not from Snappy. No, she wasn't at Snappy Snaps.
That's a good story.
And he was like, where did you work? And she was like, well, I worked in Ibiza. And he was like, that's where I remember you from. I was like,
yeah, he does love Ibiza. He does love Ibiza.
I probably did his bloody photos from Ibiza. But that was my takeaway from that night. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Dean. Next time you want your photos developing, don't come to me. Well, because I don't work there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, I won't help you.
Wait, so you worked at Snap. What other jobs did you have when you were younger?
What haven't I had? I've done every job you can imagine. I worked in Morrison's. I worked in a chemist. I worked... I've done Snappy Snaps photo processing.
Lovely.
I once did door-to-door sales selling N-Power.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting people to convert their energy over to N-Power.
Did that go well?
Wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I actually would end up like finding a bench and sitting there and waiting till my shift was over, then be like, sorry, no one wanted to convert.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Hated that. I've worked at Subway.
Oh, I love Subway.
I was okay apart from the ham because I don't feel good about ham.
Oh.
I have been a receptionist. I was the world's worst receptionist.
Why?
I'm not very organised and I'm not very good at admin.
Did you have to answer phones?
Yes, and that was okay because I just had to say, Morgan Ashurst, good morning. But can I say the F? I feel like I can swear.
Oh, you may. Just don't say the C word.
No, I won't.
Oh,
although I do quite like saying that sometimes. I used to, every time I picked up the phone, I used to think to myself, don't say Morgan Ashurst, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And one morning I picked up and went, Morgan Ashurst, go morning. And it really frightened me. Thought,
it was an intrusive thought that came true.
Yeah. No, but I didn't. I nearly said it, but I was like,
oh, what would you have done if you even said that? Go fuck yourself.
I would just be like, oh, sorry, good morning.
I don't know who that was. Thank you.
Or just hang up and be like, oh,
do you know what? I don't think I'd be a good receptionist, but I like the idea of like placing my pens.
That's a very small part of the day, though, Grace.
And like maybe colour coding.
I had to make everyone tea and coffee, and I don't even drink tea and coffee, so I didn't love
Don't drink tea.
I've gotten into coffee now, but no, I don't drink tea. Ugh.
Oh.
Muddy.
Maybe you haven't had the right cup of tea. I'm sure you've heard that about 8,000 times.
About a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, you know, it happens.
And I hadn't had the right cup of tea.
If you will.
If you will.
Okay.
You get my drift.
So you've done everything?
Yes, most things. Oh, also, once I was a waitress for one day. Oh, guess where? Anfield Stadium. And guess who I served? Neil Buchanan from Art Attack. This is an Art Attack. This is an Art Attack. This is Art Attack.
Let me just Google this, ma'am.
Oh, you're young, aren't you?
No, but I did watch Art Attack.
Yeah, this is an Art Attack.
Neil
Buchanan.
B-U.
I took his dirty plate away.
Did he eat all of it?
Yeah.
That's good.
He said, very nice, thank you.
Oh.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Was he nice?
Yes, he said thank you, yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
So I've been rubbing shoulders with celebs for a long time.
Haven't you
This isn't my first rodeo.
Well, come on. Thank you. Was he a rock star as well?
No, I think he just did an arts and crafts TV Oh, maybe.
He's wearing a vest. Can you see that? Goodness me.
Yeah.
I actually wore a similar vest to that the other day. They put me in a denim vest and I looked very butch.
Denim vest?
Fine. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We won't talk about it.
No.
Anyway.
We can.
Apart from all those exciting jobs you had, you were the OG, part of the OG YouTuber group, right? Yeah. When I was growing up, I just remember I looked at all of you and thought I would give up my family to be all of you.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did.
Were you a sprinklerino?
Yeah. Come on. Of course I was. Although I really liked, who else I liked? Casper Lee at the time. Yeah. And I met him recently. Yeah. He's very different now because he's very businessy. And I just remember him when he wasn't businessy.
Well, no, you remember YouTube versions of people.
Yes, and YouTube they were also like 19.
Real people, yeah.
How did you find that? Because were you in your 20s at that point?
Yeah, really weird. So I was the oldest. So I feel like I was on the fringe of the... Well, there was also, do you remember Fun for Louis?
Fun for Louis. Did he go travelling?
He was very travelly. Yeah.
Yes.
Dreadlocks.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So he was 2 years older than me. So I feel like we were the oldest and we were kind of on the fringe of that group, the cusp. It was a really, really fun time.
Yeah.
It was like your wildest holiday you've ever had, but forever. But I will say it was really high highs, but then some behind the scenes quite low lows, because whilst all of that was like ticking off, like VidCon and Playlist Live and all these like amazing like wow things, I had a 2 or 3-year-old and I was getting divorced. So like behind the scenes,
I remember this.
Everything was like falling to absolute
I feel like you were quite transparent with your divorce at the time, or was it after that you were?
I was as transparent as I needed to be, so that people felt like they had enough without prying anymore.
Yeah.
If you kept secrets, people were like feral for them.
People don't stop.
No.
If you don't say something.
You've got to give a little bit.
Dribble a little something.
So I gave a bit. But anyone that's gone through a big breakup or a divorce, it's hard, especially when you share a home, a mortgage, a child.
Yeah.
So I was doing all that adult-y stuff, but then also I was on like the front cover of Shout magazine and going to events and being screamed at. So it was like quite like living 2 different lives.
Yeah. Did you feel as big as you were at the time? No.
I just didn't know, because I like a lot of our audience then were in school, so in high school, but I wasn't in high schools, so I didn't know that people were talking about us. All I saw was the comments on videos.
Right.
So it wasn't until I'd go to events like shopping centres to do like book tours and stuff and be like, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like,
there's actually quite a few.
Yeah, this is a lot. But also, because it was a group of us, I never took on like, oh, this is for me. It was always like, oh, this is for the group. So your imposter syndrome is like very easily fed in that environment because you'd be like, oh, they're here for Alfie and Zoe, and I'm just kind of
and I feel like by default you all became a group as well. We
all had the same management.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we were all from Gleam, so we all ended up going to a lot of the same things. And of course, like in there were some real friendships as well.
Yeah.
So like it naturally lent itself, and then obviously like romantic relationships in there. There were 3 couples at one point. There was so it was not. No, I wasn't coupled with anyone.
No.
Fancied me.
I think that's probably best, though. I'll be honest. God, there's no chance. Thank you. But I think it was like, I don't know. I feel like everyone was so obsessed with that whole group, so it must have been just weird to go through with everyone so obsessed. Do you have like your?
But you don't feel that obsession because
it's online.
Because it's online,
right?
So I would go home to my like, very normal house. I just lived in a little terrace in Northampton by the Morrisons.
Yeah,
and so I would just go home to that and like feed my baby and go to bed.
That was it.
That was it. I didn't see the hysteria that it was. Looking back now, I'm like, whoa, that was cool. But at the time, I was either literally crying to Adele because I was going through a breakup and no one liked me, or I was like at an event wearing a flower crown, like taking pictures.
Oh my God, that's a throwback.
Some dangly earrings and a flower crown. Oh my God. Gorgeous.
Yeah. That was the shit.
A mini
back
skirt
then.
with a vest top, a cardigan, and a flower crown.
Like the skater skirts as well. They used to slap.
Yeah, with some little dolly shoes. Oh God.
Times have changed, but I enjoyed that.
Because I still want them
just
to be
wear all the fuck you want. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who gives a shit? I walk around in gym gear all the time when I don't go to the gym.
No, I obviously don't either. It's the obesity that gives it away.
What is your favourite memory you have from that time? If you have like one that stands out.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because I feel like you travelled a lot.
We did do a lot of travelling. Okay, so we would go to these like conventions in America, like VidCon, Playlist. There was only 2 of them. And when you went to Playlist, it was in Florida.
Right.
And they would shut down a theme park for all the creators that were at the convention.
Jesus Christ.
And we would go at night and have a shut down theme park. So no lines.
Night.
No, just it was incredible. And we went to Universal Studios. And
my God.
There was an American out there that I used to see at these conventions who I like deeply loved. He didn't love me back, but that's okay.
That's fine.
It's fine. And we would like just go on all the rides and like it was insane. Wow. Yeah, that was really cool.
Do they still do that for stuff like VidCon now? I don't know if it's as big now, you know.
I haven't been for ages. I'm a bit scared to go now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go either.
Why don't we go together?
Why don't we just shut down the park?
Why don't we go to VidCon together?
I don't even like rides.
Right, are we going to VidCon or to a theme park?
Sorry,
any rides?
I think I got my wires crossed.
Right.
Let's go to VidCon.
To the convention.
Although that's my worst nightmare. I've got a thing about germs. So meeting that many people, I think.
Anti-bac?
I would have to clean them down.
Do you want to hear a really gross story about a little meet and greet I did once?
Always.
At VidCon? And I will just say, this is nobody's fault. And there's no...
I like the way this is starting.
And there's no judgment.
Okay.
There's no judgment from me. I just want to tell you it happened.
Yeah.
So I was doing a meet and greet and there was a girl in the queue, lovely girl, who was... Do you know what? I actually can't tell this story. I'm starting to tell it. I'm like, I cannot tell this on camera.
Really?
No. Do you know what? I'm going to save this for my swan song.
Okay, fine.
So when I know that my career is completely over, I'm going to come back on and I'm going to tell you all the stories I can never tell.
Incredible.
Yeah. I
Do you have a scary meet and greet story?
Well, there's
took it too far. Oh,
the man. So, Milton Keynes, Waterstones, doing my book.
Yeah.
A man came in, didn't queue up, came to the front of the line. What shall I say for penis? Penis? Yeah. Flopped his penis out and shook it around at me and said, do you want some of this? Do you want some of this? And I was like, oh. And you think that in those scenarios you'd say something really like cutting.
Yeah, like fuck off, you weirdo.
Yeah. But instead I just,
that wasn't
like some people were like, I'd just snap the book shut on it. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. Like, I actually just went, oh, I thought, Claire, the publisher. And then he was escorted out by the Waterstones staff. But then I still had to carry on. So to the woman next to me, I was like, is it Julia or Juliet? Like, I had a lady come to a book event in a full Spider-Man costume, including the face. She sat through the whole like chatty part, like the Q&A in the costume, came to do the signing, and I said, love the costume. What's it in aid of?
Yeah.
She just said, it's my birthday today. I was like, happy birthday. That was it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you do get a lot of really interesting characters at book events.
I'm upset I haven't had that yet. I haven't released a book.
I like to think it's because I'm not judgy and I'm very maternal and loving. Yeah. So come as you are to my events. Bring all of your weird. Bring it all. Yeah. It's welcome here.
Yeah, fine. That's fair.
I don't want you to bring your dick though.
No, I think we could do without the penile.
Keep that in.
Yeah.
Keep that in.
Or
not in me.
No.
in your trousers.
That would be weird. Yeah. Especially at a book signing.
Sorry, you'll have to cut that bit out.
You already were making notes. Cut that. So where am I moving on from this? You a sprinkle of glitter.
Oh, don't mind me.
You have a swig.
Other drinks are available.
It's a water. Other brands are available. You were sprinkle of glitter.
Yes, I was.
For a hot minute.
For a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
And then you just changed.
Yeah.
To Louise.
Louise Pentland.
Louise Pentland. Why did you make that change?
So Louise Pentland is my name.
Of course. Yeah.
You know.
I'm glad we cleared that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was actually a serious reason because I felt like the Sprinkle of Glitter brand had become very swept up in what the internet was at that time, which was like pranks, like fun, like lots of fun entertainment for young people, for teenagers. I never set out to be a teenage entertainer.
No.
And it wasn't really like suiting me because in my real life, I was getting divorced. I was learning to like co-parent a child with split custody. I was back on the dating market. So I was going on like dates with adult men. Like I was almost 30. Yeah. And I was going on dates with men that were like in their 30s, some 40s. And yet I was like, they'd be like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I make videos about the household makeup challenge where I put ham on my eyebrows. Like it was just weird. And
yeah, I can see how that's a deterrent.
I just didn't feel like I could keep up with that. Also, because of motherhood, I couldn't keep up with like the excitement and the fun of the Brit crew. They were doing like really big, amazing wow things. And I couldn't leave my kid and go and do all these things. Yeah. And I just didn't really have like the heart or the capacity for it. Yeah. And I was so glad to see everyone else do so well and carry on doing that for the times that they did. Yeah. But I was that little bit older and it just didn't really work for me. So I tried to phase out, but just couldn't. So I was like, I'm just going to make a video.
Okay. Yeah.
And just say, I don't really want to be Sprinkle of Glitter anymore. I just want to be
Louise.
Just a normal person and talk about normal people things.
Which I think is fair. Was the reception to that positive?
It was mixed. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So the audience, the people that didn't like it would just unsubscribe and leave, which is okay. Like if you're a 14-year-old that's subscribed because you want to see me do fun collabs with like Marcus Butler, and all of a sudden I've said, I'm not going to do that. I want to talk about motherhood. Fair enough. Yeah. That makes sense that you would leave my content platforms. Some brands were a little bit upset because they're kind of like banked on this like friendly, fluffy, big sister to the teenagers vibe, and all of a sudden I'm talking about like Tinder. Yeah. They were a bit like
big difference, yeah.
Some of the magazines that used to put us in, one of them rang up my manager and was like, we're not going to put her in anymore. And she was like, okay. We didn't ask you to in the first place.
Wow.
Yeah, but mostly it was really positive. I think people understood and they're like, thanks for being honest.
I think that was good for career-wise as well, because I don't think if you were still sat there doing like those like sort of like what's the word to describe it? Sort of like
I don't even know what they're called. One day we'll have a word. Yeah, but that genre of content.
Those videos, I don't think anyone's watching stuff like that anymore. So I feel like you made the change at a really good time.
And it was just a bit weird for someone of my age to keep doing that. It got a bit cringy, and I felt a bit exploitative because I was like, I could keep doing this and I could keep earning really good money, and 14-year-olds would love it. So I changed it over and became more of like mummy lifestyle, which was stuff that was important to me. And that worked quite well.
Opinion on the word mumfluencer?
Don't mind it.
Cool.
Because I feel the same about it as I do influencer, which I don't love. Yeah. But I also, I don't care that much.
I feel like you're the OG mum.
Thank you.
Like you started mums.
Basically Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, you started mums, right?
Thank you.
And I was really invested.
I am the first, but I've invented
You invented
motherhood.
Children.
Yeah.
You had, well, you still do have. Darcy, you had one time. Darcy.
Yeah.
Pearly girl.
I'm Pearly Girly. Yeah, thank you for her full name.
Come on.
Appreciate it.
You know me. Start off with Darcy. First of all, I remember I didn't watch YouTube for a while during like college and uni. And then you randomly came up on my TikTok For You page with Darcy. And I was in shock.
I think a lot of people were.
How much Darcy had grown.
Yeah.
It scared me. Like,
yeah,
I was like, what, am I old? Like, what?
Yeah, the sands of time have moved on.
She's so cute though. She's like, is she like a performing arts kind of girl now?
Yes. So Darcy lives for the stage.
Come on.
She and unashamedly so. She's like, she just loves it. And I'm like, good.
Love it.
So basically, she was into ballet. She did ballet at school. And then when lockdown happened, their ballet teacher stopped coming in because COVID.
Yeah.
So someone said to me, oh, there's this like ballet school that's open. You could take her to it. I was like, yeah, okay. Then she likes doing it. We'll take her along on a Tuesday night. Yeah. Lovely jubbly. It was actually, the school does ballet, theatre, singing, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. First of all, we didn't know that she was very good at ballet. We just thought she just liked it.
Yeah, cool.
Turns out she was amazing at ballet. We're like, wow, good for you. So we started doing like, I became a dance man. We'd go to these competitions and she'd get all these medals and blah, blah. It was really cool. Then she was like, I'd quite like to try musical theatre. I was like, give it a bash.
Why not? Yeah.
We've got the time. Yeah. Let's go for it. And I know I'm her mum, so I'm always going to be like, she's the greatest.
No, but she can sing.
She can really sing.
She can belt.
And I was like, who knew you could do that? That's amazing. So she started doing that. She's been in a few shows with her dance and theatre school. And then it got to the point where she was like auditioning for Matilda. Didn't get it, but we went for the audition.
Absolutely.
Good life experience. Yep. She's in a panto this Christmas. Aww. She does loads of things. She just loves it. And then she was like, can I have my own TikTok? I was like, oh, I'm not sure. I have now got her a holding page for a TikTok. Right. I'm going to get your handle. But I was like, why don't you do some videos with me and you can open my PR boxes? Because this child loves a PR box.
That is the dream as a child.
I'm like, babes, this is normal for you. You've grown up with this. You've grown up with the PR bags.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah, but for her, she's still so excited. I'm like, I love that you're still excited for this. Every time something comes, she's like, what is it? And I was like, let's open it. So we started this mini-series where she goes, welcome back to my mini-series where I open my mum's PR packages because let's face it, I'm going to steal them anyway.
Of course.
And then PR started sending her own packages. And I was like, you can have this mini-series. So we film 3 in a go. So whenever we've got 3 boxes, that's when I'm like, time to film. This is like the dream for a 13-year-old. She gets all the products in the box. She also, any revenue that video makes, she gets the revenue for it. Only fair.
Yeah, actually, so fair.
It is fair.
So fair.
And she does something she enjoys doing. She absolutely loves it.
What do you buy her for Christmas and birthdays?
I'll tell you what she's asked for this year.
Okay.
Highlights and a fresh set of nails.
Oh, I love her. Oh my God, that's so like demure.
Yeah, I was like, what do you want? She's like, I quite like highlights and a fresh set. And I was like, okay. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, she has nails at the moment, but you're not allowed nails at school. So it's just nail strengthener, but it's just a little bit of very pale gel.
Very pale, yeah. How are they going to know?
They'll never know.
Have you had that discussion, like who you are with her? Does she get that?
So she never got it until about 2 years ago when she got an iPad and she got YouTube.
Right.
And she came downstairs one day and she was like, Mummy, can I tell you something? I was like, yeah. She was like, there's a video of you and some guy and you're waxing his legs and it's got millions of views. Yeah. And I was like, that's Dan Howell.
Yeah.
Of Dan Is Not On Fire. And I was like, yeah. She was like, there's loads of videos on there of you. And I was like, yes, that's what I do. She's like, yeah, but you're on loads of other people's. I was like, that's called collabing. But she knew I made videos. Yeah. Because she's always watched her own videos. Like she watches all our holiday videos or birthday videos. They like those. But I don't think she ever really realised until we started like I started taking on red carpets with me and things like that. Right. She was just a bit like, she sort of always knew but didn't know.
I feel like it's kind of hard to, obviously it's the generation of like technology. Yeah. But I don't know if I'd be able to grasp that. But one good thing about you is you don't have bad videos online. Sometimes I'll speak with like,
I don't highlight
privated them. Yeah. Sometimes I'll have like Love Islanders on or whatever and they've like openly had sex on telly or whatever and they're like, I don't know how I'm going to say that to my kid.
No, I've not had sex on camera.
I would have remembered that, I think.
I would like to think I would remember that.
Yeah.
That would be a no from
Speaking
me.
of relations.
Sex on camera.
Liam.
Yeah. Lovely. I love what you did there.
Thank you.
Yes.
You met him on Tinder.
I met him on Tinder. So I loved Tinder. I loved all the apps. I know that people are like, oh no, they're awful. No, absolutely amazing. So I had a system. It's a numbers game. I don't know if it still is. Okay. At the time, it's a numbers game.
Right.
So you've got to swipe enough guys or girls, whatever you're into, to get enough things in your inbox. So swipe 100, 10 DMs, 1 date. You've got to think of it like that.
Right. Ratio.
I get up in the morning. I was going to say feeling like P. Diddy, but not anymore.
Not today.
No, I didn't. No way. Then I would do all my swiping.
Yeah.
Right. Then I would go and do the school run, and I would get to the school car park early to get the best space. I'd get there at 3:00. That's when I'd do my correspondence.
Right.
Where I'd see if any of them had messaged me.
Okay.
At that point, I'm messaging them back. I'm then going to go and be a mum. I'm going to do bedtime, bath time.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to get in the bath and carefully with my phone catch up on my correspondence. So I had a bit of a routine with it, you see.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And keep them waiting as well, because you've just gone and been a mum.
Yeah, I'm not dead. I'm busy.
You've booked and busy.
I am busy making pesto pasta.
Yeah.
I am busy. Oh, I love it with a bit of sweet corn. Come on over. So I loved all I went on a lot of dates, some better than others.
Really?
Some
got
were
a bad date story?
Bad date story. There was a man that told me on our first date that he'd killed 40 lizards by freezing them to death in his freezer, and that is weird. That was a red flag.
I'd say it's more than a red flag. That's like the start of a serial killer.
That's what I was like, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's one of my boundaries. Yeah. It's a no from me. Also, I had another guy who was like, have you got any nicknames? And I was like, my dad calls me Lulu. And he was like, you know what your name rhymes with? I was like, yes, I do. Loads of things.
Yeah.
Cheese. I was like, yeah. And he was like, shall I call you Louise Cheesy? And I was like,
no,
I don't want, not really.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
That's another one of your boundaries.
Louise Cheesy.
Yeah, Cheesy Louise.
So I met Liam on Tinder and we got to talking, and he went against everything on my like strict criteria for swiping, because he didn't have a bio, and I would never swipe on a man without a bio.
It's too much to think about.
I love a bio. My bio was brilliant. It was so well crafted.
I know.
No bio.
What
but I like the
vibe was it? Like,
it was a bit jokey.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
bit.
You've
got personality.
Yeah, but I said, gentlemen only, please, because what I was trying to say there was not just up for a one night stand.
Right. Yeah.
Got to be at least a drink first.
Okay. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classy. Right. So we swiped. I liked his chat. Right. Now, there was a little bit of misunderstanding on our first date where he mistook me for a dominatrix. And how that happened was, before I would go on a date with anybody, I would have to vet them on a FaceTime call. Right. Because you can tell a lot about someone from a FaceTime, I think.
Yeah, of course.
So he said, would you like to go for a drink? I was like, I would, but I would love to have a FaceTime call first, just to make sure we both want to go. I was like, you will want to go on a date with me, but just to make sure. So he was like, yes. So we arranged this FaceTime call. We have this conversation, and at the end he says, oh, can I take your number so that when I get to the pub, I'll message you that I'm there. Right. And I was like, oh, I'm not. No, I said, oh, no, you've got my number because I've just FaceTimed you. Yeah. Off my phone. No. I had FaceTimed him off my laptop, and it had come from my email address, which is louise.pentland. And he was like, oh, no, it's come from louise.pentland. I went, oh, you've got my surname now then? And he was like, is that a problem? And I was like, look, I know this is going to sound really, really weird. Right. But will you do me a favour? He was like, what's that? I was like, please don't Google me before our date, because I just want to have a chance for us to meet on level ground. Yeah. And he was like, this is a bit weird. I was like, I know it's so weird. Yeah, I would straight away think. And if you told me, the first thing I would do is want to Google it. Yeah. But could you just do me this one favour that I'll only ever ask you? A lot of us him so much. Father my children. But don't Google me. Yeah. And he was like, okay. Yeah. So he goes to work the next day. He's a police officer, and was like, oh, this is a bit weird. And they were like, we'll look her up. So Northamptonshire Police Department looked me up. I don't think on my criminal record, which I don't have, but just, Googled
Thank God, yeah.
And they were like, I think you'll be okay. But on the day, I told him what I did, and he was like, oh, I know what you mean. And it turns out he actually didn't know what a vlogger was. It was a bit of a surprise to him when it happened. But I was like, so what did you think I was? He was like, oh, well, it's a bit awkward now. And I was like, what did you think I was? He was like, well, you came across as like very confident and quite glamorous, because I'd like obviously done full face of makeup for this, like, oh, just come on FaceTime. Yeah. And I was like, what did you think? And he was like, Well, I just thought dominatrix. I was like,
I love that he still went on the date though as well.
Yeah.
Like he still
I was like, well,
yeah.
let me tell you, Liam, things are going to get very disappointing for you.
I felt that. I really felt that.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story.
Yeah. We just fell in love.
And you had pearly gap.
Well, we started dating for a bit and then I got knocked up. So
was it accidental?
It was a really joyful surprise.
Okay, yes, sorry. Let me just... Was it a joyful surprise?
It was a really joyful... Funny you asked that.
Yes, yeah,
It was a really joyful surprise. Yes.
Were you scared?
So I was on a shoot. I was on the cover of a magazine for Blogosphere.
Of course,
Be Creator. And on set for filming, taking those pictures and filming it, I was like, oh, I feel a bit off. And someone's like, maybe you're pregnant. I was like, ah, ha, ha. I was like, oh, my, maybe. And I went home and I was like, oh, I am pregnant. I'm with child. But he was game. So
oh, thank God, yeah.
He was really pleased, actually. He'd
always my God.
I was a little bit scared because, like, Darcy was my very planned baby. Like, I had met someone at university, loved him, got married, we bought a house, got married, had this baby. It was all very cookie cutter, white picket fence, exactly what you're supposed to do. And it didn't work out, as we know, because I'm divorced.
Yeah.
So then I was like, if that didn't work, is meeting some guy, no bio guy on Tinder and getting knocked up 6 months later, is that going to work? Yeah. Turns out, yes, because we're getting married next year.
That led me on so well into my next topic.
Didn't even see your notes. Yeah, I've got loads of good things on there.
Wedding.
Yeah, I'm taking too long on each thing.
No, not. We don't have to go through all of these. I'm
really
just hot. Are you?
Yeah, I'm warm. Oh, that'll do it.
Sorry, and I'm ill as well. Coughing on you like a toddler.
Sorry, I'm immune. I've got children.
Wedding.
Yeah, I'm having 2.
Okay, I've been keeping up with the wedding dress search.
Yes.
Because your post made me really sad about the dresses.
Oh, when I said I'm too fat.
Yeah, I thought you looked lovely in all those dresses.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you looked absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I didn't feel incredible.
Really? Was the wedding dress shopping not as you maybe expected it to be?
It was that I wasn't as I expected to be in the wedding dress shopping experience.
Okay.
Because I think I have now since had a successful shop and ordered the dresses and really enjoyed the process.
Lovely.
But initially, I think I just got there and just suddenly felt like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm nearly 40. I'm a mum of 2. Everything's sagging. I'm not like this young, like 22-year-old that's like, oh, I can't wait to walk down the aisle with my boyfriend. To my boyfriend. It's like, oh, I'm going to do my second. I just suddenly just felt really like, really, I felt really gross, and I was like, this isn't what I want. I don't want to buy like the most beautiful dress of my life feeling gross.
Yeah,
it wasn't the dress shop was amazing and the people were amazing. It was just
well, if you've already got it in your mind as well, whatever you wear.
Yeah. And I tried a few on. I was just like, meh. And so I just put it off and off and off and off, and then I was like, I am getting married really soon, so I really need to get something.
Yeah.
So I just worked really hard on my mindset, and I did loads of practical things as well. Like, it sounds really stupid, but I didn't go when I was hungry. Like, no one can do anything when they're a bit hangry, a bit sicky.
Yeah.
So I went and had breakfast first with my friend, and I just changed everything around in my mind. It just took time. And then I went and found them 2 beautiful dresses because I'm having the church
explain this. Right. Church
service on one day.
Amen.
And reception on another day. Because I am actually deep down in my soul a miserable hag.
Felt that.
Yeah. I've only got about 3 good hours in me.
Yes.
At a push.
Oh, do you know what? Glad you said that, because weddings for me, you've got to sit there, go through the whole ceremony, which if you're not getting married is a ball ache. It's beautiful, but fucking hell.
Not to mention,
does go on.
It's not just a ceremony. So it's it takes ages to get ready.
Oh,
you've got to travel there. The church service is always at lunchtime.
Yeah.
So are you having a massive breakfast and surviving all the way till 5? Or are you having it
after but nearly fainting?
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you having a cereal bar in your handbag? What are you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then you have to go straight from there to a party that's probably going to last about 9 hours. If it's your wedding, you can't leave.
No.
You have to stay.
I know, I did it once.
I like this. No, I'm not. I don't know why I'm telling you.
I also find it hard being a wedding guest, so I have to have some breaks. So I would always take my car, and while you're doing all the photos, unless it's a group shot, I'm going to McDonald's.
Oh, what an idea!
Yeah, just have a little burger in the car.
Yeah, little double
and then
cheese.
Come back, and then everyone's like starving for the canapes. I'm like, oh, just have one. I don't want to do it.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Yes, or I'll have a little picnic in my car. But I just need to nip to the car.
Yeah, little picky bits in there.
Yeah, some little M&S bits.
So not the service. Like, is that the after bit?
That's the after bit. So I'm having the church service in February.
Lovely.
And that's going to be lovely. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then we're going to have everyone back to our house for a glass of champagne, slice of cake. And then by about 4 or 5, I'd like them to go.
Yeah.
I will tell them.
Yeah, cool.
In a gentle way. Like, thanks so much for coming. Like, if you were here now, so let's say you're at my house.
Okay, role play.
Role play.
Oh, so happy for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
For you. Beautiful ceremony, that.
Thank you so much for coming. I've really, really appreciated it.
Oh, it must have been a long day for you. So do you want us to...
It has. I think I'm going to go and have a little lay down. I think.
That's fine.
We'll go. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
I think when you do that, that's the British way.
Or when you go...
Thank you so much. Yeah. And then later on in the year, so I'm going to have a long gap in between because I wanted to have a spring reception.
Ooh.
I'm going to have a reception in London.
Okay.
Yeah, so it started off with, I was like, Liam, I would just be glad to marry you in the church hall.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah.
Then we got a wedding planner. And I was like, to Claire, the wedding planner, I was like, just something really simple, elegant, but just something simple, low-key.
You've written out Buckingham Palace.
Well, the first place we toured was Kensington Palace. And I was like, this is lovely.
Yeah. But...
and then we found Claridge's. I was like... Also nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. But we didn't go with Claridge's because they wouldn't let us do our photos in the lobby. We're like, is there any wiggle room on that? They're like, no. I was like, we're not going to get
yeah, of course.
So we picked somewhere else and it's going to be lovely. So that church hall upgraded slightly and I'm having 2 dresses and I can't wait.
Oh, I love this.
I'm going all out.
I think you should. I think you should.
I'm having bridesmaids. I'm having a massive cake.
Are you having like a lot of bridesmaids? Was it hard? Like, what's the vibe?
Yeah, well, I was a bit worried about the bridesmaids.
Yeah, you must.
Because what if we fall out and they don't like me in a few years and then they're all in my photos?
Yes, I always think about this.
You've got to because for my first wedding,
of course.
I had my sister. She's still there.
Yeah.
And then I had my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's sad.
Because then all the pictures are like...
Yeah. I mean, I don't have those pictures out anymore. It'd be a bit weird.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, you are right. Yeah.
But had that marriage worked.
Yeah, it would be weird if you still had them up, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Also, my dad's changed wives since then and everything.
Oh, Jesus.
It's such a lot.
It's time for a new one, isn't it? A new wedding.
My wedding.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad can't do another one. So there's so many. So I've chosen some of my uni friends because like these women have stuck by me for 20 years. If you can survive 20 years of me, we're good. We're all right.
Yeah.
And then my friend Claire, who I've known for 10 years, I was like,
is this the wedding planner Claire or
different Claire? And then my daughters.
Because they will be with you.
I hope
by
so.
Default.
Yes, because they have my genes. They have my blood in their veins.
Yeah.
And it's going to be lovely.
Oh, that's
Do you know what else
nice.
we've hired?
Come on.
A harpist.
Oh,
a real one.
One thing about me is I fuck with a harp.
Do you?
Yeah.
That must be painful.
Well, good from you. I think they sound so elegant.
Strings.
Yeah. String. Is that what you're going to like walk down to? Or
no, my friend is going to sing me down the aisle.
Can she sing?
Yeah, it's Karen Hope Fletcher.
Yeah, okay.
She can sing.
Oh, I just wanted to check that.
No, yes, she can. She's like a singer.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I've told all my friends when they walk past the harpist, I want them to go very loud, like, oh wow,
look at
a
that
live harpist. Oh, like how lovely. Oh, I don't think that's a CD, Derek. I think that's a live harpist.
She really is here.
Yeah. Oh wow. I've told several people. I was like, you walk past,
you got to get your money's worth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a harp.
Oh wow.
I always think, how do you even start playing the harp? Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that start like that. But what I will say is it's not something that in primary school you don't go...
It's a recorder, is it? 3 by mice?
I don't go... Buttons. I absolutely love to try the harp.
No, I think that is what people do.
You've got a radio show.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
That was... Yeah. What's it called? It's called Pentland.
Sorry, just a second. Sorry.
I just feel like that was a really natural segue.
I've got a radio show. Yeah. Actually, Grace, yes, actually, I've got a radio show on BBC Radio Northampton called Pentland's Positives. And it's a show.
It sounds positive.
Yeah, it is a show about positive things in my county and the surrounding areas, because there's lots of things to be positive
name
about.
them then.
Yeah, loads of things.
Like
lots of lovely parklands.
Yes.
Loads of good things. Loads of good charities.
Okay.
Northampton.
We love a charity.
Love charities.
Do you enjoy that? Because I feel like radio's it's live.
I've calmed down now.
Okay. I can imagine the first few I'd be going to say fuck.
No, so I've got a really good filter. I know that I'm not going to say anything, and I host with, well, I don't host, Bernie Keith hosts, and I just come on the show, and he's amazing. Like, he's so good. So I send off my notes of what I want to discuss, so Pentland's positives, and then he will like lead the conversation, and he's incredible. He's so nice.
Oh, that makes it easier.
Yeah, it's really nice to have someone to like bounce off as well.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely because you know what? Northamptonshire, you never hear anyone say Northamptonshire's amazing.
No.
It's got a lot of amazing things. I know I joked when I was like, I can't think of anything, but that's because I was my brain was melting, falling out my ears.
Yeah, that's fair.
But actually, it's a lovely place to raise a family. It's got a lot of lovely resources.
Yeah.
And it's central.
Parks,
it's really nice. Lots of parks, lots
land,
of countryside.
Yeah.
It's just really nice.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to be.
You've sold that to me.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get into
we're just
it.
Gonna
We've
have
tried
to go
a few
in.
times. Yeah. We've tried so many times to get into child abuse, and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So let's just start with child abuse. Okay, so
Cool.
I had a lovely mum and dad.
Yes.
When I was 5, my mum was diagnosed with breast cancer, and when I was 7, she died from another cancer that had developed from that.
Okay.
But cancer in general. And then my dad brought someone else into my life very quickly afterwards. I'm talking hours after the funeral.
Oh.
As in, do you want to hear a funny story? And this isn't
Is
actually
it funny, ha?
Not
or funny?
really.
But you may go ahead.
I'll give it a go.
Absolutely.
Right. So when people are like, I've had a terrible week, I'm like, let me tell you about the week my mum died.
Yeah.
So December 19th, school disco.
Oh my God, not December as well.
Yeah, I'm 7 years old, school disco, too much cherry aid, vomit everywhere.
Oh.
December 20, no, sorry. I'll start with December 20th.
Right.
Mum dies.
Okay.
That's how we're starting the week. Mum dies. December 20th. Dies. December 21st, I have got a stomach bug from the school disco that I'd gone to on the 19th. So I'm vomiting everywhere. Dad doesn't know what to do. I have to lay on towels. It was awful.
Okay.
December 22nd, we go and choose Mum's headstone. We pick one with a rose on. It says, till we meet again. Lovely. 23rd, funeral. Mum's funeral. Bleak. Day before Christmas Eve.
Very,
bleak.
yeah.
Can I say this?
Bleak. Not very festive, yeah.
Not very festive.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't look at a holly wreath and enjoy that anymore.
No, yeah, it ruins the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. Next day, Christmas Eve, everyone's a bit forlorn. Christmas Day, I'll meet my dad's new partner.
Oh, shit. Christmas Day?
That's right. They weren't together at that point, but, knew each other. And then, not with her, but we go to Grandma and Granddad's for Christmas dinner. Grandma's crying as she's doing the potatoes. I'm asking, when's Mum coming for dinner? She's
God.
Dead. Awful week. But that woman that I was introduced to turns out to be a massive child abuser.
Wow.
Of me, and I was the child. So I'm being quite jovial about it because it's actually a really like horrific thing to think about. And if I really do think about it, I'll get really upset. But it was 8 years. It's so weird to be able to talk about this because a couple of years ago I wouldn't have even been able to say the word abuse. It's taken so long just to be able to I've always known it, but to be able to say it. But when I talk about it, I kind of detach. So apologies if I sound a bit like cavalier about it. It's just I'm like detaching from this like horrific thing. It was very physical abuse. So it was physical, emotional, and mental. I will say not sexual, thankfully.
Yeah.
So grew up in from 7 to 15, my home was very violent.
A long time.
8 years is a long time. And I'm talking sustained abuse. I'm not saying 1 month I was hit and then the next month someone shoved me. I'm talking every day was sustained long things. And I still have the physical scars on my body from various things. It was things that you wouldn't even imagine that you would do to a person that I won't go into. But what gets you is the mental load of that. Because if somebody punches you in the mouth or spits in your face, that's a moment experience. The whole incident is a few moments, but the mental load of that degradation, of not being protective, of not being safe, lasts a lifetime. And I have always wanted to help other children not experienced that. And something I never had the courage to do was call Childline. First of all, I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the internet. I didn't have a phone. Didn't know who I could turn to, because the thing about abusers is they're very clever, and mine groomed me to believe that everybody knew this was happening and everyone wanted this to happen to me. I deserved it. Everyone thinks you're naughty. Everyone thinks you're horrible. She told me, you know why mummies get cancer, don't you? It's if their children are naughty. And she stopped all my family seeing me. And she was like, why would they want to see you? Why did your mummy die? So I thought my family didn't come and see me because I killed my mother. Yeah. All these really awful things. And there was a poster at my school for Childline, and I never had the courage to call it, because the thing about the person was I felt like she was God. She was everywhere. She would know if I'd called. They get into your mind. You feel like you can't pick up the phone. They'll know. If I pick up the phone at home, they'll somehow see the record. If I do it at school, somehow it'll get traced back. They'll know. So I just never had the courage to know, because I didn't know it was anonymous. Yeah. I didn't know it was confidential. Right. So once I had come out of that and kind of recovered and got to a very stable place in my own life, I was like, I would like to do something to help, to give back, to kind of readdress the balance of this horrific thing has happened in my life, but also in my life, could I make this beautiful, amazing thing happen to kind of neutralise it a little bit? So I raised money for Childline, to fund Childline. It costs £30,000 to fund Childline for one day. So a day. So we aimed to raise £30,000 and we exceeded it and raised more than that, which was amazing. But also, it's not just about, obviously they needed the money, but telling people, even just having conversations with other people. If anyone ever says to me oh, there's this kid and they're a bit weird, I'm like, don't sleep on that. Because safeguarding is everybody's responsibility. Never, ever, ever say, I don't want to get involved.
Is it my place?
Because it is your place. And everybody said about my case, it's not my place. Meanwhile, I'm being absolutely brutalised. And I would have really liked someone to have given just someone a call. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise as well. I always heard about Childline when I grew up, but I also thought that if you called it, they'd come round and be like, well, your daughter's just called.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So no, that's not how it works. Okay. It's confidential to within reason. If someone's life is at risk, they will have to step in and call someone else. Yeah. But a lot of the time you can just call and have a chat. Children can just call if they're just worried about something and have a chat. I think that's the other misconception about Childline is it's only for children that are being abused. Well, it's not. It might be children being bullied or having some friendship problems or just don't know who to talk to.
One thing I liked, you posted it the other day. I don't know if it was yesterday or the other day. And it was what's something you're proud of? And it was how you are as loving as a mum.
It was
or whatever. How did you word it?
I'm a soft and gentle mum.
There we go. Yeah.
Because my childhood was not soft or gentle. It was hard. Yeah. And you couldn't be, I'm a naturally quite soft person, but you could physically and mentally, but you couldn't be that when I was growing up because you just had to survive. So you just had to completely detach, shrink, be nothing, say nothing, have nothing, do nothing. Just, you couldn't show I ever liked anything because that would be destroyed. Yeah. Couldn't show I ever disliked anything because then that would be done more to me. So you just become void and you just harden yourself to everything. You have no feelings and you just
that's how you deal with it.
That's how you deal with it. We have a really gentle, soft household. Liam's not a shouter and I'm not a shouter. Certainly not a physical punisher. And we lead my parents ruled with force and violence. Yeah. Whereas I feel like I lead with support and education rather than I don't expect my children to fear me. I expect them to respect me and I respect them. So
I like
really
that.
Proud of that.
If I have quite a young audience as well that do watch this pod. Yeah. If there is anyone listening or watching that might be going through something like abuse or anything like that, what advice would you maybe give them?
So if you are a young person, if you are under 19 and you are being abused or you're worried about a friend that's being abused, call Childline. You just make that initial call, or you can go online, there's chat rooms. You don't even have to tell them your name. So if you don't feel able to ring up and be like, hi, my name's Louise, this is my whole story, because that's a big deal. you can just make that first call and just have a little chat, and you can say, I don't feel comfortable sharing my name, I just want to tell you what's going on, and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
You can stop that conversation whenever you like. And if you're worried about a friend, first of all, give them that resource, and you can call for them and say, I am a bit worried about this. But if you are a young person listening, I just want you to know that you are entitled to respect and kindness from everyone. It doesn't matter if it's your parents who say, well, you live under my house, you've got to respect my rules, all that sort of like very domineering things. Yes, that is right, that you've got to abide by their rules, but you are entitled to respect and you are entitled to kindness.
Yeah, I love that.
I will adopt you.
Thank you. Oh, no, please do. I need like a nurturing home.
I meant the young people watching, but
no, that's
also
fine.
I will also adopt you as well.
What age does adoption start?
How old are you?
Old enough.
Tell me what age.
25.
That's so weird because adoption starts at 26.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
See you tonight.
Yeah. See you later.
Thank
I'll
you.
tuck you in.
Imagine me tonight.
Do you a little story. We'll have Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy.
Before I finish the pod.
Oh, and I can't end on child abuse.
No, we're going to end on a lighter note.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
I like to ask all my guests, what bit of advice would you give me to save Grace? Me.
Grace, I feel like you're doing pretty bloody well.
Thank you.
As it is.
Thank you.
So I would say my advice to you would be, whatever you're doing now,
keep doing
that.
Okay.
And then tell me how you're doing it, because I think you're doing amazingly.
Thank you. That's the best bit of advice I've ever had.
It was sort of advice and a compliment, wasn't it?
That's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, really, it was nice. It was all wrapped in one with like a little jokey self-degradation as well.
I like it. Yeah, that's a bit of
like
me.
A sandwich.
Yeah. Deprivation sandwich.
Delish.
Also, anything you want to promote while you're here?
Yes.
Go on.
It's me. So it's at Louise Pentland on TikTok.
Yeah, look into that camera and say it. Yeah, you go.
At Louise Pentland on TikTok and Instagram and all the other platforms if you fancy it.
You want it.
Particularly those would be good. If ever you see an ad, just leave a little comment. Loved this.
Yeah.
Heart it.
Yeah.
Heart it. Loved this.
Yeah.
Can't wait to buy this.
Yeah.
Lovely. And yeah, I would also like to finish my sentence. That's my plug, really. I've really enjoyed being on. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Enjoy your cruise.
Oh yeah, going on a cruise.
You are going on a cruise.
Yeah,
take some travel sickness.
No, I don't need to.
Oh, you're not one of those, are you?
No, I've got a very strong constitution.
Oh, what a bitch.
For the most part. Never mind those prawns in 2012.
Am I right? Anyway, it's been great to have you on.
Thanks for having me. It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it.
If you've been watching, give it a like and subscribe. And if you've been listening, give it a follow and a 5-star review. Bye.